So I got Elana here. Welcome to the Perseverance Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Truly, we're put on this earth to find joy in the things that are difficult and then to persevere. Happiness is only temporary, but joy is a lifetime. Where did you have to find your joy?
August of 2003, I gave birth to my only child. 5 days after he was born, I woke up and my face felt funny. We called the doctor, and the reason it felt that way is because this side of my face had become paralyzed. It's a condition called Bell's palsy, and it can be brought on by a virus, by stress, and very often by childbirth. And 85% of people recover fully within a few weeks or months, but about 15% of people like me never recover. My mother, when I was born, developed it and was one of the few who never recovered. And I had grown up having kids in school tease me about how my mother looked. It brought all that back. I was 29 years old. I felt disfigured. I couldn't even blink my right eye for 2 months. Everything about it was just horrible emotionally, and it physically hurt also. The stress and the strain was just too much. I hated being around people. There are just so few pictures of me with my son when he was young because I hated how I looked so much. I wouldn't even take a picture with my own child. And there were other things going on in my life at the time, adding to compounding stress. My father was dying of cancer. I left my career that I enjoyed. Within the first year and a half, my sister's husband got sick and died. This thing, though, with my face was something that was there all day, every day for me. I couldn't smile anymore. I physically and mentally, emotionally couldn't smile.
You get to that point, you ask God, why would you do this?
I hadn't at that point had a problem and had the habit to let me take it to God. I didn't. I was in it alone and I was very depressed. I withdrew. I wish I had had God back then because instead I turned to depression. I turned to alcohol. I turned to anger. So I didn't turn to God until many years later. When I turned my life to God, it just lifted the burden. It changed my perspective. I'm not living for this life anymore. I'm living for the afterlife, and the joy we talked about is so filling all the time. So I'm constantly restored. I'm getting my smile back one day.